My country of Norway has not had a big history when it comes to creating horror movies. It is only since the 2000s that fundings have been available for genre movies, much in thanks to the success of Villmark, aka Dark Woods from 2003. There is one old classic standout though that is considered to be our very first horror movie, and that is the 1958 movie Lake of the Dead, or the Dødes Tjern as it is called in our language. Considering all the folklores of mystical creatures that have been told in this country for decades, it is kinda weird that we never fully used those to create movies earlier on. Oh well. The Lake of the Dead was based on a highly successful novel of the same title by Bernhard Bjørg, released back in 1942. A group of friends heads out for a weekend trip at a cabin near a lake, and no, these are not teenagers, but rather adults. While traveling there, they are told an ancient folklore regarding the place and the lake in question. The ghostly story upsets one of the women, Lillian, as her brother has already headed out for the cabin and has not given a word of himself after he went there. When they get there, they find evidence that the brother might have actually thrown himself into the lake, either on purpose or by being lured into it by a ghostly figure. The group decides to figure out the mystery behind this, all while themselves being in danger of suffering the same fate of ending up in this cold lake. This is my first time viewing this film, and it just so happened to be on the big screen as it was being screened at the biggest horror festival in Norway, called Ramaskrik. You can catch a longer video where I talk about the festival on my channel soon, if you have some extra curiosity about it. Now what surprised me the most about this movie is just how funny and on point it was. The dialogue is excellent, and the actors deliver lines with such confidence and enthusiasm. Especially actor Henki Kolstad, a legendary actor in Norway, and to see him bringing it in his prime was awesome. The different dynamics of the group is also well done, as they all bring different viewpoints regarding what is going on, without resulting into cheap, heated arguments like we're used to in horror films of today. The characters really make the movie, and I am impressed by everyone involved in making them all fun and interesting, being able to carry the film on them alone instead of relying on the supernatural element of the story alone. The only thing that this film is lacking is being frightening. There are other films from this era that have some creepiness to them, but The Lake of the Dead sadly didn't do that much for me in that department. I'm sure that it had some bigger impact on kids at the time, as there were some nicely crafted shots that take full advantage of the lake to be found there, but it isn't enough to get under your skin in 2016. It seems like the story is a bit based on Norwegian mythical creature of the Nøkken, but it does not go all the way supernatural, which I would have preferred, as the good old stories about Nøkken, a creature that lurks in lakes and draws people into them before drowning them, are quite frightening. And speaking of that, why the hell don't we have a Norwegian horror film using it as its premise today? Well, it's still time, I guess. The director of this film, Kåre Bergstrøm, had a good run during this time period with several cinematic successes in Norway, both as a director and as a cinematographer. He got help from Ragnar Sørensen on the cinematography on this one, another important person in Norwegian cinema, as Sørensen has been involved in the classic Norwegian movies such as Boys from the Streets from 1949, and a very own sort of version of Reefer Madness with Heaven and Hell from 1969. The Lake of the Dead is a very talky movie, and I'm not sure how well this would translate with English subtitles, so I'm not sure how much I can recommend this to non-Norwegians. For Norwegians though, or actually all Scandinavians, The Lake of the Dead is a classic movie with a lot to offer. Just not any chills or scares. This is an essential movie to watch for any Norwegian horror fan, and I'm happy to say that it didn't disappoint me. If you are from the States and are interested in this film, then there was a DVD released of it with English subtitles from Sinister Cinema back in 2012. That DVD is still available on their website, so if this sounds interesting to you, then check it out. Lake of the Dead is a classic of Norwegian cinema, and I'm happy to have finally seen it. So I'm gonna give Lake of the Dead a 4 out of 5. Are there any of you out there that have seen or have any interest in Lake of the Dead? What about horror movies from Norway in general? We've had some the last 10-15 years that have gotten international distribution. What have you seen, and what do you want to see? Want me to do a review of a specific movie, then feel free to suggest it in the comment section below. And as always, subscribe to keep yourself up to date with my future videos. Thank you for watching.